across the UK. Overnights with Martin Kelner.
Totally unexpected. Marvellous. Right, we're going to Adelaide, South Australia now, and we say it will be about lunchtime, I suppose. We say a very good morning to our good friend Matt Leighton out there. Matt, what time is it? Is it about lunchtime?
It's 1:45 p.m. So yeah, it's I've just heated up the leftovers of last night's Thai takeaway, and I'm ready to go and watch Sing 2 in the cinema with my girls, because obviously we've been locked down for 3 weeks and only got out. So if I'm a little croaky today, it's because I may have gone out last night. So apologies in advance for that.
Why not? So let's talk first of all. I mean, the great thing about the Winter Olympics, we very rarely win much in the way of medals. But what is it? There's always interesting stories, and you're going to tell us about the Australian Olympic bobsledder who only saw snow for the first time in November. Tell me about that.
Yeah, this is brilliant. I love it because the two that I remember from the past are, of course, Eddie the Eagle Edwards. He was a bit of a hero for some reason, and then there was the Jamaican bobsledding team, and the idea of a tropical island nation producing a team of bobsledders, and that got made into the film Cool Runnings. This story comes to us courtesy of the people at perthnow.com.au, although the now's in red, so I should probably pronounce it perthnow.com.au. From heptathlon to bobsleigh, from red-hot Western Australia to the ice-cold Winter Olympics, and with a bit of luck, from the grind of training to the glory of a Games medal. That's the goal for Western Australia's, get this name, Kiara Reddingius. Kiara Reddingius. It sounds like something you'd accuse. You're being Kiara Reddingius. She switched sports 10 months ago and only saw snow for the first time 3 months ago in November, in a path that has shades of the hit 90s film Cool Runnings. Reddingius will partner, and here's another name for you, Bree Walker, in the two-woman bobsleigh in Beijing, capping a remarkable year that began with uncertainty over whether she'd even enjoy the change of discipline after switching from heptathlon. And my research reveals that she was a sort of a journeywoman heptathlete, so obviously really hard 7 sports, but she didn't quite make the cut for the Olympic team. But the Australian bobsledding authorities, and there is such a thing, they pounced on her because she had the right body type, which actually means she's got big, muscly legs, but not too much upper body, because if you've got a broad chest and big shoulders, you can't get in the bobsled, and it ruins the aerodynamics. It's
not the ideal. Yeah, it's not the ideal body shape for some professions, but bobsledding it probably is.
It is. She's actually, and being very aware that these things can be taken in a bad way. But I would describe her, having seen photos of her, as majestic. She's a very fine specimen of a human being, not in a rude way, but just in an impressively muscled and fit and goddess. Get me out of this, Martin.
I was going to say, you are struggling here. There's no doubt about it, Matt. There's some things are very difficult to say, but I know what you mean. She's got the body for bobsledding, which is
doesn't sound like a compliment, does it? You got the body for bobsledding.
No, it doesn't. Not off the top of your head. You've got, and there's no woman who likes to be described as majestic.
No, fair enough.
What do you mean majestic? But anyway, but it's great. It's great. It does give people a chance to pursue their dreams.
It does, and she's already finished in the top 10 in the world. She and Bree Walker, which sounds like a person who takes cheese out for a living, but Bree Walker and she have registered one of the top 10 times last year. So they do actually have a vague outside chance if lots of other stuff goes wrong, I think.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant. Now, looking at politics, your Prime Minister has been branded a liar. I wonder what that's like.
Your Prime Minister has been branded a liar. Yeah.
Not half. So tell me about your guy.
Well, I think I think part of the reason we do this, Martin, why have a correspondent in South Australia is just so we can reflect and look back at how things are. And there's a lot of, yes, the Prime Minister is a liar being bandied about. But Scott Morrison, the Australian Prime Minister, has rather embarrassingly been branded a liar and a hypocrite by his deputy in a leaked text message. I'm going to now have a look at, there's a lovely, beautifully written article by a lady called Catherine Murphy, who is the political editor of The Guardian Australia, and it says Barnaby Joyce labelled Scott Morrison a hypocrite and a liar in a private text message sent before he returned to the leadership of the National Party. In another blow for the embattled Prime Minister, the leaked text was forwarded to the former Liberal staffer, blah blah. In it, Joyce said he did not get along with Morrison. He is a hypocrite and a liar from my observations, right. And that is over a long period of time. The funny twist to this story is that they're saying, well, you know, I didn't really know him at the time. You worked with him 3 years ago. What are you on about? So apparently their relationship has improved. But in a slightly embarrassing twist, there was another leaked text message criticising the Prime Minister this week. And before this one came out, Mr. Joyce, the Deputy Prime Minister, was going, if you're the person who wrote this critical text message of the Prime Minister, you grow a set and come out and say it now. It would be better if you're honest about it. And then 2 days later, a text message came out with him being rude about the Prime Minister. So yeah, it's not just over there. It's not just Boris. It's politicians are often accused of being liars, aren't they, Martin?
They certainly are. And what I love about that story is it just sort of indicates how direct, you know, the thing we love about Australians is they will call a spade, and Australians are direct. And if they're going to insult you, they'll damn well come out and insult you. They'll not do it in the sort of backhanded way we sometimes do over here. So, you know, a point there for the Australians.
I must dig out. Sometimes the parliamentary debates are very robust. And there was one a couple of years ago. Wouldn't happen in the UK, but they ended up in a punch-up. And it's quite because, as we know, in the UK we have the mother of all parliaments. All the ones in places like Australia are decked out to look exactly the same, with the green benches and the same sort of feel to them. So it actually looked like some people having a punch-up in Parliament. Most entertaining.
Yeah, indeed. We'll look back at that one day. Matt, as always, thanks ever so much, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Martin.
Good man. Matt Late.
Brilliant. Thank you, mate.
No problem.
South Australia.